I was sitting in my room when the gunshot happened. It freaked me out. You know, I was just thankful that it wasn't me. You know, it didn't come through the wall or ricochet off something and hit me.
A shooting at a Knoxville motel. An out-of-state carjacking suspect hits a Knoxville police officer and sends him to the hospital. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Robin Wilhoit.
And I'm Beth Haynes. The Knoxville police have a suspect in custody after an officer was shot. That officer is okay because of a bulletproof vest. Police shut down a portion of East Magnolia near the America's Best Value Inn as officers dealt with a standoff. Reporter
Steve Butera is live in East Knoxville with the very latest on this story for us. Steve.
Robin and Beth, it is still an active situation right now. You can see several officers from Knoxville Police surrounding the Value Inn, specifically that parking lot right over there. They say that an officer spotted that stolen vehicle from the state of Florida shortly after 8 o'clock this evening. That officer then asked for backup. Let's show you some video from just a couple of hours ago when we first arrived on the scene. When those officers arrived, 3 KPD officers to be specific, they went door to door. When the suspect opened fire from a motel room door, shot one time, hitting one of those officers in the chest. Now, the suspect then slammed his door and refused to come out. He later surrendered. That officer had a ballistic vest. He had a protection vest. That essentially saved his life. Crews took him to UT Medical Center for observation, but according to Knoxville Police Chief David Roush, he is okay. The man in the room next door, we spoke to him a little bit ago. He says he heard those shots.
I'm laying there and I hear a gunshot, you know, so I get up real quick. I look out the window and I see 2 gentlemen dive behind the back of a pickup truck. Well, they see me open the window and they're telling me to get down myself, pretty much with their hands. So I do, you know, I get down on the ground because I don't want to get shot.
Now, that suspect is right now in the public safety building and being investigated, or being interviewed, by investigators right now. Again, this is a car from Florida. We do possibly have an identification, but we don't have that positively identified right now. We're still working to try to see exactly what the car is. It could be from South Florida. We'll have updates for you coming up at 11 o'clock on the NIPE. For now, we are live in East Knoxville. Robin and Beth, back to you.
Steve, thank you.
Well, it's expected to be the largest automotive recall in U.S. history. Almost 34 million vehicles from 11 different automakers have defective airbags from Japanese manufacturer Takata.
Steve Butera found out while repairs will not take too long to fix, waiting for the supplies needed could take months.
It's a IR10 News.
And to see if you're on the recall list, visit safercar.gov and type in your VIN number. You'll need to do this for the next few weeks as more cars and identification numbers are added on a daily basis. And we do have a link at WBIR.com.
Turning to the forecast now, we do have a few chances for rain overnight, but
it's coming right up.
All right, see you shortly, Todd.
Okay.
Thank you.
One West Knoxville couple is on a mission to create a school specifically for children with autism.
Their desire to do so comes from their 5-year-old son, Logan, who has autism, and what they say is a shortage of services here in East Tennessee. Reporter Becca Hoppiger shows us their plans.
ABCs.
Autism Achievement Academy is in the process of applying for nonprofit status. It has the curriculum, teachers, and administrators lined up. The school just needs a building and more money. They'll be holding a fundraiser in late July. We'll post a link with more information on our website, WBIR.com.
A third man has been indicted on murder charges for the disappearance and death of Holly Bobo. John Dylan Adams is charged with first-degree murder and especially aggravated kidnapping charges. Adams is the younger brother of Zachary Adams, who was indicted for Bobo's murder last year. Jason Autry is the third man charged in her death. Bobo was kidnapped from outside her home in Decatur County in April 2011. Police found her partial remains in the woods in September.
The home of one of East Tennessee's most famous politicians will soon go on the auction block. Senator Howard Baker died last June at the age of 88. Known as the Great Conciliator, his political accomplishments include serving as Senate Majority Leader and Chief of Staff for President Ronald Reagan. Froh Auction Company announced it will be selling his 11-acre Huntsville home along with the late senator's personal property. It includes a main residence, pool and pool house, tennis court, and attached 5-car garage. The 2,000-square-foot guest house overlooks the Cumberland Mountains. The auction is set for Saturday, June 20th.
On Monday, our country will pause to honor the fallen men and women who served for our country. You can help commemorate Memorial Day by placing flags at the graves of veterans. Volunteers on Saturday morning will be placing flags at all 3 Knoxville veterans cemeteries. If you would like to take part, you're asked to arrive at 8 in the morning for the cemeteries on John Sevier or Lions View Pike. The ceremony at the Knoxville National Cemetery will begin at 9 o'clock.
Well, part of a busy Knoxville route will be shut down to traffic this weekend. As part of the ongoing Cumberland Avenue Corridor project, all lanes of Cumberland Avenue will be closed at the intersection with 22nd Street. Crews will be installing a water line across the street. That intersection will be closed from 10 Friday night until 6 Monday morning. Eastbound and westbound traffic will detour along West Volunteer Boulevard and Lake Avenue. And if you'd like to take a closer look at the detour map, we have that at our website, WBIR.com.
It's the last day of school tomorrow for many students in East Tennessee. Knox County schools will dismiss students after a half day. Preschool and elementary school students will get out at 11:15 in the morning. Middle school and high school students will be released at noon.
An international affair celebrating kids' creativity kicked off tonight in Knoxville. Thousands with Destination Imagination packed Thompson Bowling Arena for that welcome ceremony. This year's participants come from 17 countries and 47 states. Tonight's events gave the kids a chance to have some fun while meeting some new global friends.
It's always important to keep an open mind and to trade ideas with people with different ideologies and ways of thinking, because that's what it's all about.
We're so glad they're here. This is the 18th year for Knoxville to host the Destination Imagination Global Finals. It runs through Saturday.
It is a big deal. Well, veterans are teaching teens a skill they hope will help them get their foot in the door at colleges. But it doesn't involve joining the military. How a program is focused on shooting skills and how it's helping teenagers.
And the California coastline is coated with slick black oil. An update from Santa Barbara as crews are cleaning up the more than 100,000 gallons that spilled from a pipeline. A one-of-a-kind program is giving young people a shot at a new skill. That skill could give kids who might not have pursued education after high school a chance to go to college.
Reporter Leslie Ackerson shows us how a rifle shooting program designed by military veterans is giving the students an in-demand skill that is opening doors. Talk to you in a bit. Thank you, Todd.
Veterinarians say a dog in Atlanta tested positive for a deadly strain of dog flu that has killed pets in the Midwest. That infection causes coughing, fever, lethargy, and anorexia. For now, there is no vaccine for this specific strain. Veterinarians recommend keeping dogs away from daycares, parks, or kennels in areas where that virus has been found.
Well, a tight primary race in Kentucky is still tied up, and as the U.S. Capitol Police Chief is questioned about lapses in security, the man who landed a gyrocopter on the Capitol lawn is now facing charges. How long he could be behind bars up next. Well, breaking new developments now about the suspect who police say shot an officer in East Knoxville. He may be linked to another shooting with police in Miami. Tonight's shooting happened at the Best Value Inn at about 8 o'clock tonight. That officer is okay. Police say the suspect had a stolen car they linked to a carjacking in Florida. Just yesterday, Miami police were serving an arrest warrant on 30-year-old Matthew Pryor when he ran out of the back door of his mother's home. After a chase, Pryor started shooting at police, who fired back. No one was hit. Miami police say while running away, Pryor was hit by a car, got up, then carjacked a woman. The car towed from tonight's scene matches the make, model, and plates of that stolen car from Miami. We will have the very latest tonight at 11 on Channel 10.